Hola y gracias por estar en este programa de M2, programa de entrevistas, programa que nos hace muy felices a Ivett Salgado y a una servidora compartir con ustedes. Y hoy tenemos pues dos producciones muy diferentes, pero bastante buenas cada una a su manera, mi querida Ivett. ¿Cómo estás?
Hola Susi, un gusto estar aquí contigo. Sí, dos producciones completamente opuestas, pero importantes por lo que se está viviendo ahora en tema de temporada de premios, pero también de...
Ray Fiennes e Isabella Rossellini, lo cual ha sido uno de los grandes privilegios. Vamos a ver.
About doubt. And the essence of the film is about doubt, like Cardinal Lawrence gave this beautiful speech at the beginning. And that's what, to me, was most moving about the film. Yes, it's the political thriller, but it is ultimately the order to doubt and the mystery. And that, to me, that is a very religious film because of it. Mm.
Absolutely. And Rafe, speaking of that wonderful...
I think that we don't have the answers. We want answers, but sometimes we can't have them. I think if we're honest about that, things have a chance of progressing more positively. I mean, I think we're in a world where the soundbite, the quick flip judgmental phrase on social media or quote presented by politicians, it's the salesman's sense of this is how it has to be. It's, but I think it's an honest place to be. It's certainly hard to pitch doubt in the Catholic Church or any religion, but I think in everyday life we're confronted with things we don't, in all honesty, have the answer to. And if we might try an answer, but we have to accept we may not be right. But I think there's a fundamental honesty in that which is healthy.
Doubt is incredibly human, but people see it, particularly certain institutions or political movements will see doubt as weakness, when in fact it can very much be the opposite.
Por favor, no se pierdan Cónclave. Creo que es una de las mejores películas, no solo de este año, de muchos años. Y es de esas películas que confían en la inteligencia de la audiencia. Y ahora hablemos de una gran serie. Las dos somos muy fans de Severance, y ahora que llegó a su segunda temporada, estamos muy emocionadas porque hemos considerado seriamente, Ivett y yo, pues hacer ese procedimiento y separar nuestra vida personal de nuestra vida laboral, pero luego pues dijimos no, porque cómo nos vemos afuera, ¿verdad?
Yo no sé qué tan buena idea sea. Cuando planteas esta situación, todo el mundo dice, quizás seamos más productivos, ¿no? Pero entonces malentendemos la productividad, que es lo que nos está pasando en esta época. Y justamente de eso platiqué con el elenco, con pues, parte de todos los que forman parte de esta gran historia, empezando por Adam Scott y bueno, también Patricia Arquette, que es una gran antagonista, y Ben Stiller, que está en la parte de la dirección con una parte muy importante allí, sorprendiendo con lo que puede hacer desde este lado.
¡Qué joya! Vamos con eso.
Mark, your Annie said she's alive.
This is obscene.
I just want to be sure.
Why did you do this? What is this all about? Do you know something about Gemma?
Mark, there'll be no honeymoon ending for you.
Your work will be remembered as one of the greatest moments of this
And then,
planet.
in a time where productivity seems to be the ultimate value, how do you hope Severance encouraged people to reflect on the importance of mental health?
I think it's very important. We are in a time now where people are really taking into account the toll that work takes on us and our mental health as we go through life, and that being more important than doing well at work or hitting some goal at work, or the pressures and the tensions that work put on us in this very stressful world. So I think, on a certain level, this show deals with that in a way, because the main character is trying to cut off from all of that, but yet he also has this crazy pressure at work that he's dealing with too. hopefully the show also can just be a fun sort of way to both like question those things, but also, there's a sense of kind of weirdness and humor and mystery that can be an escape from everyday life too, I hope.
How do you handle the emotional tension between Mark's innie and outie versions, especially with the revelation about his wife?
Yeah, from the start, it was important to Dan and to Ben and I that innie and outie Mark feel like the same guy, not two wildly different characters. They're definitely just like different halves or sections of the same guy. They just have vastly different life experience. One has 40 odd years of life experience, and the other, for all intents and purposes, is like 2.5 years old. So they're different in that way. And you're right that there are emotional strains that just sort of physiologically, they're just a part of Mark's body that carry over from one to the other. And so it's, while making the show, it's a matter of deciding what kind of trails of emotion or, adrenaline or whatever it may be, might be carrying over from one to the other. And I think there is a lot of crossover there, whether the character is consciously aware of it in the moment or not.
I'm tightening the leash.
If we let this happen to Miss Casey, who's gonna step up when it happens to us?
Now. Goodbye, Marcus.
Wait!
What message do you think Severance sends about the impact of ethical and mindful leadership on employees' mental health?
Well, I definitely think that employees' leadership can definitely have a big impact on the employees' mental and emotional health, and also their quality of life. And I think we're having a crisis with mental and emotional illness right now, in general, certainly in America, but I think globally.
I think what's brilliant about the show is that Lumen has built a way to deal with mental health of their innies with the Wellness Center. So anytime anything is stressful, they're taken away to this space where they can be rewarded and reminded about their outies. I think that mirrors the attempt that corporations may have at trying to talk about or address mental health.
Also part of the Wellness Center is breaking your spirit.
Sure, yes.
But it's funny that it's couched under this title, the Wellness Center.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do they perceive as well? For them as a company, how can you be the most productive, and how can we kind of find the place in between? All these characters are longing for connection, for acceptance, for validation, and yet they're all kind of spinning out in their own head, in their own world.
Hay que dejar de lado, mi querida Ivett, y gracias por traernos estas grandes entrevistas, a la persona que en México le decimos productora, allá le dicen showrunner, pero finalmente quien está a cargo de todo, ¿no?
Exactamente. Dan Erickson, que justo contaba esta parte de cómo surgió todo el concepto de Severance cuando formaba parte de estos corporativos inmensos en los que no le encontraba sentido a la vida. Creo que a muchos nos pasa y estamos buscando dónde desempeñarnos mejor. I would like to know how did the original idea of Severance evolve over the years, from its initial concept to becoming a series about the internal and external struggles of Lumon employees.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, the whole thing started, I think, because like a lot of people, I was working a job that I didn't really love, and found myself sort of wishing that I could, disassociate from that, do the work, but not have to feel myself doing the work, and just taking little bits and pieces from office life and putting it into the story and recontextualizing it. And then, once it got to Ben Stiller, we really started to dive into the guts of it and thematically figure out what it was about and everything. And And then it just kind of snowballed from there. We got more and more brilliant artists working on the show.
You said before that season 2 is going to be darker. What message are you hoping to get across by taking the characters to dark places?
Well, I think what we want to convey is that if you try to assert your individuality within an oppressive system, there's going to be pushback, and you're going to have to fight like hell for it. The fact is, as with all of the niceties, the corporate niceties that we hear from our bosses, oftentimes if we actually try to assert ourselves and fight for, you know, what should be our rights as human beings, oftentimes that's going to be met with reprisal. And so we wanted to tell the truth of that part of the story.
Pues con eso cerramos por hoy, Ivett, pero tenemos una cantidad de entrevistas para lo que viene de las siguientes semanas, de esta temporada de premios, pero también todo este año tienen cosas muy interesantes. Espere muy pronto todo acerca de Bob Dylan, A Complete Unknown. Y mientras tanto, pues por ahora nos despedimos, pero pues gracias. Ya nos vamos allá en el estudio.
Gracias, Susi, como siempre un gusto.
Un abrazo y gracias a todos ustedes por acompañarnos aquí en M2.